Hey everyone, Dr. Tony Crown here. Welcome back for Wellness Wednesday number 4. So this week we are going to talk about all things breathing and figure out if you're breathing correctly each day. But first, a couple announcements. If you've been in the office in the past couple days, you've probably seen some new faces. So we have 2 new front desk ladies, Wendy, another Wendy, and then Melinda. So they're just getting fresh, so be nice to them up front, be patient with them, they're learning all the ropes, so we definitely want to give them a warm welcome. So now we're going to kind of dive into breathing. So this is one of the first things that I hit on with all my new patients that come in, and also that Dr. Hawkins talks about, because breathing is the most common thing that we do in a day. On average, we probably take about 20,000 breaths. Okay, so what happens if we're breathing incorrectly, or we're not stabilizing correctly, and we're developing faulty motor patterns that could be leading to excess tension in different muscles. So last week I talked about the shoulder and how if our shoulder's not stabilized, or if we're not holding it correctly, whatever, you name it, there's going to be tension in that. Well, same thing with breathing. If we're breathing constantly up and down with our shoulders, that's incorrect stereotype. So think of 20,000 times a day you're doing this and your shoulders are moving up and down. So that just builds that tension up in here. So a lot of people that come in with neck, upper back, they just hold their stress right here. A lot of that is due to the breathing. So what also happens, and we'll get into this here after I talk about this, is because people develop those faulty motor patterns, and with cosmetic things, injury, a lot of people tend to suck in their belly. They want to draw it in, they want to look and have that flat stomach, that six-pack, and that's completely false, and it may look good, but it does not provide any therapeutic benefits to you, because that just holds excess tension where we don't need. Sure, you can suck in your stomach at the beach, you can suck in your stomach at the bar or a cocktail party like one of my mentors says, but otherwise our stomach should be relaxed so we can actually get that breath driven down there and utilize our diaphragm in the lungs. So I mentioned the diaphragm, so we have 3 different functions of the diaphragm here. So this first one is respiration. So with each breath in, our diaphragm is going to drop down here. So bear with me, I'm not the best artist. So our diaphragm is going to drop down. So what that's going to do, and if we look over at this one, it's going to cause the expansion all the way around the belly, because it's just a compact cylinder. So with that diaphragm dropping, it's going to expand all the way around and even into the pelvic floor itself, and I'll get to that here in a minute. So like I said, that's going to hit on the respiration, because that's going to take off some of that shoulder tension that you carry without doing this, and naturally it's going to breathe in through the belly and relax. Well, that provides the stability. So like I said, 360-degree cylinder around that is going to help and decompress or push the spine back with each breath in. And like I said, that's our stability mechanism. So one thing that we hit on a lot with our stability exercises with our patients is this breathing, because it's super important. Now we jump to the pelvic floor and even the abs here. So if we're unable to expand all the way around because we've been tightening everything, whether it's a Kegel with the pelvic floor, whether it's sucking in our abs, we're unable to naturally relax that musculature there. So it provides good expansion around the belly and then also into the pelvic floor. So this is really good at retraining postpartum females with an issue with pregnancy and trying to regain strength of the pelvic floor, or even getting ready for the birthing process. That natural breathing, or the descension of the pelvic floor as the diaphragm drops, really helps to expand things, but it's still getting that muscular function. So it's not like we're loosening anything, it's just that eccentric load, if you've heard of it, lengthening under tension. Okay, so it's super important that we develop this pattern of breathing into our belly, so then we can start to get into that stabilize mechanism. So we're taking tension off of here. And our last thing, which I'm not going to get into, is sphincter control. That could be another topic for another day, but the diaphragm also functions as a sphincter. So take home message. If you're constantly breathing up and down with your shoulders, start to kind of retrain yourself to be able to subconsciously revert back to our first year of life when babies, they never breathe up here. They're always breathing in the belly. So I want you guys to constantly think about, are you breathing up here? If you are, knock that out, and we're going to breathe into our belly. So with each breath in, abdomen, belly expands all the way around, and as you breathe out, it's going to just relax naturally. We're not sucking back in, we're just relaxing. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to talk about. We have several different positions that we put our patients in to help retrain this process. That does take a few weeks to get down. But if you know anyone that can utilize great breathing, or even yourself, try it out. See how well you can do with breathing into your belly as you take a breath in and relaxing. And if you need some extra help, come on in. We'd be glad to help. Give us a call if you want to get scheduled for that. It's 615-302-4747. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.